Hey everybody, welcome back. Review a Day, episode number 172. I'm Leland. Thank you for joining me. The film I'm reviewing for you guys today is The Informant. And this is the new film from one of my favorite directors, Steven Soderbergh, the guy that did the Ocean's films. He did The Girlfriend Experience earlier this year. He did Che, one of my favorite movies of last year. He's a director I love because you can't pigeonhole him. He doesn't have like a trademark style. He doesn't have like a Diablo Cody, super funny dialogue rhythm or anything like that. He's a director who's always taking chances, and he's the type of director that will do a mainstream film like Ocean's 11, 12, and 13, and all of those films, but then he'll also take time out to do a film like Bubble or The Girlfriend Experience and really experimental films. And so I always get excited anytime this guy comes back to mainstream because I think he's really creative, and I'm always excited to see what he's going to bring to the table. He's back working with Matt Damon again. This movie has a great cast of comedians. You get Matt Damon, Tom Papa, Scott Bakula, Joel McHale, one of my favorites. Ton of comedians, like I said. You get Patton Oswalt, Paul F. Tompkins. Just the Smothers Brothers play roles in this film. It was really a lot of fun to see some of those people pop up in the film. It's based on a true story of a guy who worked at a corn company producing lysine and high fructose corn syrup. They were involved in a price-fixing scandal in the 90s, a lot of which is very technical and complicated and would take me too long to ever, explain to you if I could possibly wrap my head around exactly what is going on. I will say that I was very excited about this because I always like when an actor like Matt Damon chooses to do something light and funny. Like, I really love the Ocean's films. I love seeing Brad Pitt eating the entire time. I like seeing people have fun. And I think what I was most surprised about this film, and my biggest problem with it, was that it really was not very funny at all. I think I chuckled 3 or 4 times throughout this film, but every single big laugh or funny moment was in the trailer, which is something that I think a lot of people really hate to see, and I often hate to see, but I mean, those were the big moments, and I don't think there's really too many more funny moments that you haven't seen in the trailer. I think this movie thinks it's a lot funnier than it actually is. It has a terrific, really quirky, really funny, awesome Marvin Hamlish score, one of the greats in film composition, and that score, if the film that Steven Soderbergh and Matt Damon had made was as interesting and funny as the score, this movie would have rocked. Don't get me wrong, this is an incredibly well-crafted movie from a technical point. Steven Soderbergh, it's impossible for him not to direct a movie, for him not to direct the shit out of a movie. The movie looks fantastic, it has a really strong sense of setting. It feels like 1992, the ties people wear. The look of the movie is really great. Matt Damon, I mean, the guy's one of the best actors out there. I don't need to list his credits to tell you what a great actor he is. He's a lot of fun to watch in this movie. But I think ultimately my biggest problem with this movie was that Soderbergh and Matt Damon, I think, were just too comfortable with lampooning this story and lampooning this guy as opposed to actually telling an interesting story with any sort of weight, because this movie absolutely gets crushed under the weight of the details of what is going on and the plot. It is far too complicated. I think it would have, and it's not that it's complicated, it's the fact that they don't explain it. It's the fact that the narration he's an unreliable narrator. It's a stream of consciousness, so all the Faulkner fans out there, get excited. There's some stream of consciousness narration in this film. It doesn't really amount to a lot, and I found myself really bored because I didn't give a single shit about the corporate espionage. I wonder what would have happened had someone like Tony Gilroy gotten a hold of this script. The script at times, to me, felt like someone had written the script as a straight drama, kind of this strange story about this guy who is depressed and lies to everyone. But then Soderbergh and Matt Damon got it, and then they put the fake nose on Matt Damon and the hairpiece, and then it became a comedy, and they just cast these supporting roles to comedians. It's Joel McHale and it's Patton Oswalt. This movie, I just couldn't believe how unfunny it was, and it's incredibly intelligent, but for all of its intelligence, it really doesn't say a lot about the reality of the situation. I think I wanted so much more. I wanted a movie that was going to skewer the entire idea of what they were doing, but it really just kind of ends up not being that. And I ended up being pretty disappointed by this film. I would say watch it on DVD just because I think any movie with Matt Damon is worth checking out. I give The Informant a 2.5 out of 5. I will say I was a little let down by this movie. If you guys like this review, make sure and subscribe. Give me some star ratings. I'll see you guys next time.